Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm Leng Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's stories. A California county is poised to change the way it counts COVID-19 deaths based on a new algorithm. According to a county official, the current framework is overcounting COVID-19 fatalities by as much as 20%. A Hollywood actor is criminally charged for his involvement in the fatal Ross shooting that led to the death of his cinematographer. A district attorney in New Mexico filed 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. And weeks of rain brought much-needed relief to the state. The California Department of Water Resources is raising water allocation to public water agencies. One California county is planning to change the way it counts COVID-19 deaths. Officials say it's to improve accuracy and reduce overcount. Some experts believe that the number of deaths attributed to COVID is far greater than the actual number of people dying from COVID. Los Angeles County is going to change the way it counts COVID-19 deaths based on a new algorithm. County officials say the new classification will reduce overcounting. Dr. Barbara Farah, director of the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health, estimates that COVID-19 fatalities are overcounted by 15 to 20% using the old framework. The overcounting happens when patients test positive for COVID-19 but die of another cause but are still being recorded as a COVID-19 death. Farah added that the reclassification will only go back as far as January 1st because a year ago, quote, "we didn't have the same tools we have now." Another state that recently announced changes to the way it tallies COVID-19 deaths is Colorado. Their guidance recommends that COVID-19 death tallies should be based on death certificate information without relying on the collection of additional information from case investigations. Dr. Lena Wen, a former Planned Parenthood director, said that we need to know how many Americans are dying from COVID or with COVID. Experts believe that the number of deaths attributed to COVID is far greater than the actual number of people dying from COVID. The Epoch Times, a sister media of NTD, first reported on how COVID-19 deaths are counted in April 2020, and in September 2020 reported that CDC data showed 94% of reported COVID-19 deaths had other contributing health conditions. A district attorney in New Mexico has filed involuntary manslaughter charges against the actor Alec Baldwin for fatally shooting a cinematographer in 2021. They were filming on the set of the Western movie Rust.
Santa Fe District Attorney Mary Carmack Altwies announced on Tuesday that her office filed involuntary manslaughter charges against Alec Baldwin and armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who supervised weapons on the set. She previously had said the charges would be forthcoming. Baldwin was pointing a pistol at cinematographer Helena Hutchins during rehearsals at a ranch on the outskirts of Santa Fe in October 2021. She died shortly after being wounded when the gun went off. The actor has denied responsibility for the shooting. He said he never pulled the trigger, and it was the job of Gutierrez-Reed and other weapons professionals to ensure it was unloaded. The most serious charge, which carries 5 years in jail, would require prosecutors to convince a jury Baldwin was not negligent but reckless in his use of a firearm. A sheriff's office investigation has yet to reveal how live ammunition got onto the set outside Santa Fe.
Weeks of historic rainfall in California won't be enough to end a severe drought, but it will provide public water agencies serving 27 million people with much more water than the suppliers have been told to expect a month ago, state officials announced Thursday.
The Department of Water Resources said public water agencies will now get 30% of what they had asked for, up from the 5% officials had previously announced in December.
And after this series of storms in December, we have updated that allocation to 30%. It is largely derived from improvements to reservoir storage in Lake Oroville and San Luis. We are not yet fully calculating the snowpack and taking that into consideration into the State Water Project allocation.
For the first 3 weeks of January, 9 atmospheric rivers dumped an estimated 32 trillion gallons of rain and snow on California. It was enough water to increase storage in the state's 2 largest reservoirs by a combined 66%. California pumps water from its major rivers and streams and stores it in a bunch of reservoirs known as a State Water Project. State officials then deliver that water to 29 public agencies that supply the state's major population centers with drinking water and irrigate over 1,000 square miles of farmland.
Right now at Lake Oroville, we have 2.2 million acre feet of storage. We have 1.1 million acre feet of storage combined State Water Project and Central Valley Project at San Luis Reservoir. And then we're continuing to operate our pumping operations in the Delta, where we deliver water to San Luis Reservoir to the maximum extent possible.
The state is trying to build 7 new water storage projects, paid for in part by a $7.5 billion bond that voters approved in 2014. But it has taken those projects nearly a decade to get off the ground amid a long permitting and approval process. January's intense rainfall has saturated the ground, meaning when the snow melts in the Sierra Nevada this spring, less of the water will be absorbed by dry ground and more of it will flow into the state's reservoirs. Most of the state, however, remains in moderate or severe drought, with only a fraction on the far north coast entirely free of drought. Officials plan to conduct their second snow survey of the year on February 1st.
That's when we will be able to collect all that snowpack data, and we will feed that into subsequent allocations as we move through the season. We are still early in the season. It's great, make no mistake. We are about 218% of average snowpack for this date. We are about 124% of average snowpack based on our April 1st measurements.
State officials said they're cautiously optimistic about the rest of the year for water supply.
After being closed for a month, the Oakland Zoo announced it will reopen to the public this Friday. Reservations for regular daytime admission are available starting January 31st. And its illuminated night event, Glowfari, has been extended for another month through March 4th. At the start of the new year, heavy rain caused a major sinkhole near the entrance to the zoo. The 10-foot wide and 10-foot deep hole made it impossible for vehicles to pass. Thus, the zoo had to close. Visitors were notified via email about refunds. The driver of a car that plunged off a cliff earlier this month has been moved from hospital to jail. He is being charged for attempted murder.
41-year-old Dharmesh Patel was released from the hospital and put in jail for attempting to kill his wife and 2 young children. The judge also granted the prosecution's request for no bail and ordered that Patel stay away from his family. The Pasadena man suffered serious injuries when the Tesla sedan plunged 250 feet over the cliff on January 2nd. Rescuers initially hailed the family's survival as a miracle after plummeting off Devil's Slide along the Pacific Coast Highway. The area is about 15 miles south of San Francisco that's known for fatal wrecks. Firefighters were forced to cut the family out of the wreckage. This includes Patel's 41-year-old wife, 7-year-old daughter, and 4-year-old son. Patel's wife, who remains hospitalized, was, quote, screaming about her husband's intentionality to paramedics during the rescue. Patel was later arrested after California Highway Patrol investigators, quote, developed probable cause to believe this incident was an intentional act. However, District Attorney Steve Wagstaff said that investigators are also examining the Tesla Model Y they were driving in to rule out the possibility of a mechanical problem.
We are going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we got for you when we come back. Stargazers will soon have the opportunity to see a once-in-a-50,000-year comet. We'll show you when and where to best view it passing by Earth. Preparations for the annual Lunar New Year parade is underway in San Francisco. We show you what goes in the effort to celebrate the Year of the Rabbit. And California children under 5 will be eligible to receive 1 free book by mail from the library each month. We'll explain how the program works and how to sign up. That and more on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, Liang Zhang. Stargazers are in for a treat this week. A rare green comet is passing by Earth. It will provide both scientists and casual observers an opportunity to see a dash of green in the night sky.
A green-hued comet has been lurking in the night sky for months, and for the first time in about 50,000 years, it will be visible to stargazers as it gradually passes Earth. The close flyby near Earth also provides scientists an opportunity to take a better look at the comet.
We're expecting new discoveries, and we're really excited to see what this data actually looks like once it comes in.
On February 2nd, it will pass its closest to Earth again, hurtling between Earth and Mars. The green comet is officially named C/2022 E3ZTF, and it was first discovered on March 2nd, 2022, by astronomers at the Caltech Palomar Observatory in San Diego, California. Its greenish emerald hue reflects the comet's chemical composition.
We're going to be looking for the fingerprints of given molecules that we can't access from the ground. So things that are in our own Earth's atmosphere, like water, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane. We're going to be looking for those fingerprints in this comet and be able to study things that we haven't been able to see.
Nicknamed dirty snowballs by astronomers, comets are balls of ice, dust, and rocks. They typically originate from the ring of icy material called the Oort cloud at the outer edge of our solar system. They melt as they approach the sun and release a stream of gas and dust, creating a tail. Using binoculars during a clear night, the green comet can be seen in the northern sky. Finding a remote location to avoid stray lights is key to catching a nice view of the comet as it journeys past our planet. It's heading away from the sun and back toward the solar system's outer reaches.
San Francisco's annual Lunar New Year parade is back. The preparation team is hard at work finishing the colorful floats for Saturday's big parade.
As San Francisco Chinatown's Lunar New Year parade approaches on Saturday, workers are putting the final touches on floats for the celebration.
So the Chinese New Year parade is this Saturday, and so we're basically in the last final stretch here, getting all the final touches put on to the remaining floats for the big event.
About 10 workers were in a Bayside warehouse on Monday, painting, drilling, applying glitter, and more. The team is in full swing to finish the event's 20 floats. This year's floats will feature rabbits to celebrate none other than the Year of the Rabbit.
So you're going to see some rabbits that are very cute and fluffy. Some of them are going to be a little bit more strong. And basically, you're going to just see a lot of different interpretations of the meanings of the new year, of the holiday, and of course, the rabbit itself.
Mufson says they often take into account reusing props. A lot of the zodiac animals from previous Lunar New Years, for example, have great potential to join other parades in the future. In addition to rabbit-related themes in the parade, 5 rabbit statues are publicly displayed around town, one of which was featured at the Golden State Warriors Lunar New Year celebration. San Francisco's Lunar New Year parade starts at 5 p.m. local time on February 4th.
Californian children under 5 will soon be eligible for free books mailed to their homes each month. NTD's Jackie Reels heard more from the state librarian on how parents can have their little ones participate.
The state of California is partnering with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library and bringing to parents with preschool children books right to their doorsteps. It targets children ages 5 and under, allowing over 2.4 million children in California to participate. State Librarian Greg Lucas says the program is a great way to introduce children to reading.
There's a value in reading books. There's a value in just receiving something in the mail that's addressed to you as a little kid. I mean, I am so old that I used to clip the box tops off cereal and send them to Battle Creek, Michigan. And then like something would arrive, for Master Greg Lucas. And that was just about the coolest thing ever.
The program is set to officially launch in June of this year, but families can enroll now by going to imaginationlibrary.com/California. Lucas explained the program is already in about 40 different locations across the state and some of the other ways parents can enroll their little ones.
Some places they use the library to sign people up and then partner with a group called First Five, which receives money to help in the development of kids from the ages of like 0 to 5, which is the target group for the Imagination Library. And then what happens is the names get sent to the Imagination Library.
The program is all thanks to Bill SB 1183.
Bill was introduced by Senator Shannon Grove from Bakersfield, and the leader of the California State Senate is a woman named Toni Atkins. And if she were on this call with you, she would say that 2 things helped her succeed in life to get to where she is now. And one of them is the federal program that provides free meals to poor kids, because she grew up poor on the East Coast. And the second is public libraries. And the books are sent to the kiddos, 1 each month.
Dolly Parton's Imagination Library was inspired by Parton's dad, who couldn't read or write. Governor Newsom announced the news on Twitter with a message from Dolly Parton in late December of last year. Newsom's wife said on Instagram that research has shown that early reading offers numerous benefits for children's development in the first 5 years of life and inspires the love of books and reading. And being exposed to a variety of books, children tend to perform at higher levels in school. Lucas mentioned the Imagination Library took into account the fact that California has a diverse group of people and has offered to pick up the tab to provide Spanish books.
The Imagination Library has volunteered to do and is picking up the tab for is every single book that comes to California is going to be in English and Spanish, which is like unbelievably awesome, right? Because 40% of our population is Latino. So having them offer to do that and recognizing that aspect of California's diversity.
The budget for the program is $60 million and will be used over the coming years. The Dolly Parton's Imagination program has delivered more than 178 million books to parents all over the world. Jackie Rios, NTD News, California.
Shen Performing Arts wrapped up its shows in Fresno. A number of public officials attended the performances and presented 6 letters of recognition.
Shen Performing Arts received 6 letters of recognition from public officials in Fresno for reviving genuine Chinese culture. Over the January 28th weekend, audience members experienced a China before communism at the William Saroyan Theater.
I think people in California, I think people throughout the United States and around the world need to be standing for these principles against tyranny, against communism, to stand for truth, compassion, and forbearance. This is what we as humans all want.
But there's also a good part of the world that message is still in as well, regardless of, communism, regardless of dictators. It doesn't matter. There's still a good heart out there that believes in a good foundational value.
The New York-based Shen was established in 2006 with a mission to reclaim a lost heritage through dance and live orchestra, combining Western and Chinese instruments.
Very, very beautiful. And the precision of the orchestra, the spirituality which came through to me is that no matter what darkness we experience in this world, the sun will come up again, just as surely as the sun rises every day. And you just have to believe, no matter what, it will come through.
It was fascinating, the history that was explained before every performance and the amazing history that China had, I did not realize.
Yes.
Very, very powerful.
Yes,
you could feel the energy
with the movements and the way it was put together. It made sense. I love the big screen in the back, how they interacted with the live acting.
The audience also shared about their takeaways from the performance.
You come out appreciating selflessness. Those performers have spent a lifetime getting to this point, and then the message of selflessness throughout the performance resonates.
You know, modern ways are kind of deteriorating, you know, the divine connection, and that's very important. If we lose that divine connection, I think we're in a lot of trouble. So that's what I took away from it.
NTD News, Fresno, California.
Now let's check in with NTD's Tyler Castillo for today's Sports Roundup.
I'm Tyler Castillo, taking you through the California Today Sports Roundup. It's all about basketball for today's segment. Starting off with the Warriors, Stephen Curry scored 38 points to lead Golden State over host Oklahoma City, and he equaled a season high with 8 3-pointers as the Warriors won for the third straight game. Steph Curry and Draymond Green each had 12 of Golden State's 37 assists. Klay Thompson added 28 points, while Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins, who returned from a 2-game absence caused by a non-COVID related illness, scored 15 points each. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the Thunder with 31 points on 10 of 24 shooting. Oklahoma City has alternated wins and losses over the past 6 games. Warriors 128, Thunder 120. Kyrie Irving scored 26 points as Brooklyn started quickly and made enough plays down the stretch for a victory over Los Angeles in New York. Cam Thomas added 21 points for the Nets. Patty Mills also finished with 21 points as he and Thomas combined to shoot 15 of 25 and hit 8 3-pointers. Thomas Bryant led the Lakers with 18 points and Russell Westbrook had 17. Westbrook added 10 assists to move past Gary Payton for 10th place on the NBA's all-time list. The Lakers were without Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves. Nets 121, Lakers 104. Trey Lyles stepped in for fouled out Domantas Sabonis to score 8 key points in overtime, and De'Aaron Fox capped a 32-point night with a late hoop, an assist, and 2 clinching free throws as Sacramento outlasted Minnesota and Minneapolis. Fox produced his 13th 30-point game of the season, and the Kings ended a 2-game losing streak. Sabonis had 17 points and 13 rebounds before fouling out, and Keegan Murray put up 13 points and 13 rebounds, the third double-double of his rookie season. Anthony Edwards was the game-leading scorer with 33 points for the Timberwolves, whose 3-game winning streak ended. Kings 118, Timberwolves 111. And that's the Sports Roundup for today.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ttd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm Lang Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.